Tassa bhagavatu arahatu samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavatu arahatu samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavatu arahatu samma sambuddhassa. Homage to him, the best one, the and temple. We pay homage to you. Suttaṁ Dhamma Sangam Sam. Hello and welcome everybody to the Wednesday Dhamma reading. Today we are going to read a few suttas on the topic wisdom from the Sutta, friends. So first sutta is Meghiya Sutta, and we know how important it is to develop the wisdom. And our teacher Bante Vimla Ramsi says that whenever you hear the word wisdom, it is seeing the dependent orientation and understanding how things actually are. So we'll go and read a few suttas on the topic. The first sutta is Meghiya Sutta, Anguttara Nikaya 9.2. Meghiya Sutta 9.3, Anguttara Nikaya. The monk Meghiya, the blessed one, explained to monk Meghiya about 5 qualities that help to bring an immature mind to maturity. This is as I heard from the Blessed One. Those days, the Blessed One was living in the province of Valika, at Valika mountain. Those days, Venerable Meghiya was his attendant. Then, Venerable Meghiya went to the Blessed One, and having bowed down to him, stood to one side. As he was standing there, he said to the Blessed One, Bhante, I would like to go into Jantu village for alms. Then do, Meghiya, what you think is suitable. Then, in the early morning, Venerable Meghiya wore his robe and carrying his bow and double-layered robe, went to Jantu village for alms. Having gone for alms in Jantu village, after the meal, returning from his alms round, he went to the banks of the Kimikala river. As he was walking up and down along the bank of the river to exercise his legs, he saw a pleasing, charming mango forest. Seeing it, the thought occurred to him, how pleasing and charming this mango forest is. This place is excellent for a monk intent on meditation to meditate in. If the Blessed One gives me permission, I would like to meditate in this mango forest. So Venerable Meghiya went to the Blessed One, and having bowed down to him, sat to one side. As he was sitting there, he said to the Blessed One, Bhante, just now, in the early morning, I wore my robe and carrying my bow and double-layered robe, went into Jantu village for alms. Having gone for alms in Jantu village, after the meal, returning from my alms round, I went to the bank of the Kimikala river. As I was walking up and down along the bank of the river to exercise my legs, I saw a pleasing, charming mango forest. Seeing it, the thought occurred to me, how pleasing and charming this mango forest. This place is excellent for a monk intent on meditation to meditate in. If the Blessed One gives me permission, I would like to meditate in this mango forest. If the Blessed One gives me permission, I would like to go to the mango forest to meditate. When this was said, the Blessed One responded to Venerable Meghiya, Meghiya, since I am alone here, stay here until another monk comes. A second time, Venerable Meghiya said to the Blessed One, Bhante, the Blessed One has nothing further to do and nothing further to add to attain Nibbana. I, however, have a lot to do and a lot to add to attain Nibbana. If the Blessed One gives me permission, I would like to go to the mango forest to meditate. A second time, the Blessed One responded to Venerable Meghiya, Meghiya, since I am alone here, stay here until another monk comes. The third time, Venerable Meghiya said to the Blessed One, Bhante, the Blessed One has nothing further to do and nothing further to add to attain Nibbana. I, however, have a lot to do and a lot to add to attain Nibbana. If the Blessed One gives me permission, I would like to go to the mango forest to meditate. Meghiya, as you are talking about meditation, what can I say? Do what you think is suitable. Then Venerable Meghiya, raising from his seat, going down to the Blessed One and circling him to the right, went to the mango forest. On arrival, having gone deep into the forest, he sat down at the root of a certain tree for the day's abiding and began to meditate. While Venerable Meghiya was staying in the mango forest, he was for the most part disturbed by three kinds of unwholesome thoughts: thoughts of sensual desire, thoughts of anger, and thoughts of doing harm. The thought occurred to him, how amazing, how astounding, even though it was through faith that I became a monk, still I am overpowered by these three kinds of unwholesome thoughts: thoughts of sensual desire, thoughts of anger, and thoughts of doing harm. Emerging from his meditation in the late afternoon, he went to the Blessed One and, having moved down to him, sat to one side. As he was sitting there, he said to the Blessed One, Bhante, just now, while I was staying in the mango forest, I was for the most part disturbed by three kinds of unwholesome thoughts: thoughts of sensual desire, thoughts of anger, and thoughts of doing harm. The thought occurred to me, how amazing, how astounding, even thought, even though it was through faith that I became a monk, still I am overpowered by these three kinds of unwholesome thoughts: thoughts of sensual desire, thoughts of anger, and thoughts of doing harm. Meghiya, there are five qualities that help to bring an immature mind to maturity. What five? The monk has noble friends, companions, and colleagues. This is the first quality that helps to bring an immature mind to maturity. The monk is virtuous. He lives restrained in accordance with the code of discipline and practices courteous behavior and rituals. He trains himself, having undertaken the precepts, sees danger in the slightest faults. This is the second quality that helps to bring an immature mind to maturity. The third, the monk gets to hear easily the talks that break off defilements, that are conducive to meditation, that lead to detachment, that lead to dispassion, that leads to cessation, that lead to peace, that leads to nibbana. What are they? Talks on the benefits of having few wants, contentment, seclusion, not socializing, arousing energy, virtue, concentration, wisdom, liberation, and the knowledge and vision of liberation. This is the third quality that helps to bring an immature mind to maturity. The monk keeps his energy aroused for abandoning unwholesome qualities and for developing wholesome qualities. He is determined, solid in his effort, not lowering his energy with regard to developing wholesome qualities. This is the fourth quality that helps to bring an immature mind to maturity. The monk is wise, endowed with the wisdom related to arising and passing away of formations. His wisdom is noble, penetrating, leading to the ending of suffering. This is the fifth quality that helps to bring an immature mind to maturity. Meghiya, these are the five qualities that help to bring an immature mind to maturity. Meghiya, when a monk has noble friends, companions, and colleagues, it is to be expected that he will be virtuous, will live restrained in accordance with the code of discipline and practice, courteous behavior and rituals. He will train himself, having undertaken the precepts, seeing danger in the slightest faults. When a monk has noble friends and colleagues, it is to be expected that he will get to hear easily the talks that break off defilements, that are conducive to meditation, that lead to detachment, that lead to dispassion, that lead to cessation, that lead to peace, and that leads to nirvana. What are they? Talks on benefits of having bonds, contentment, seclusion, non-socializing, arousing energy, virtue, concentration, wisdom, liberation, and the knowledge and vision of liberation. When a monk has noble friends, companions, and colleagues, it is to be expected that he will keep his energy aroused for abandoning unwholesome qualities and for developing wholesome qualities. He will be determined, solid in his effort, not lowering his energy with regard to developing wholesome qualities. When a monk has noble friends, companions, and colleagues, it is to be expected that he will be wise, endowed with the wisdom related to arising and passing away of formation. His wisdom is noble, penetrating, leading to the end of suffering. Meghiya, when the monk is established in these five qualities, there are four additional qualities he should develop. He should develop meditation on impurities of the body to abandon lust. He should develop loving kindness meditation to abandon hatred. He should develop mindfulness of in and out breathing to cut off distracting thoughts. He should develop perception of impermanence to uproot the conceit. I am. In the monk perceiving impermanence, the perception of non-self is well established. One perceiving non-self trains the uprooting of the conceit, I am. He attains Nibbana in this very life. Then, on realizing the benefit of liberation, the Blessed One spoke the following inspired verses. Even though some thoughts are small and subtle, when followed, they stir up the mind. The ignorant person gets scared by these thoughts. The result is that he will run here and there from life to life in this cycle of rebirth. The wise person, true knowledge, comprehends these thoughts arrogantly. He restrains them mindfully. The enlightened person uproots all the stirring thoughts. So this is the sutta. It's very interesting. It has a reputation. It's like our mind is observing it rightly so that we don't miss. I think there is a small introduction. It was at a mountain, Valika, and Venerable Meghiya was taking care of Buddha at that time. He was attending him, and he was when he was on his arms round, he saw a nice mango forest. So he wanted to go and meditate there. So he took permission from the Blessed One for the first time, second time, third time. And then Buddha did not uh, stop him when he did it for the third time. So Buddha asked him to go, and he went deep in the forest, sat down under one suitable tree, and he started meditating. And what he observed was there are three kinds of thoughts that were disturbing him in his meditation. Thoughts of sensual desire, thoughts of anger, and thoughts of doing. So when in the late afternoon, he went to the Buddha and he talked about these thoughts to the Blessed One. When I went there, I was meditating, and he said to the Buddha that these three kinds of unwholesome thoughts have been mostly occurring to my mind. And even though I have become a monk out of faith, still I am having these kinds of thoughts overpowering me. So the Buddha goes on and says, how do we bring our immature mind to maturity? How do we develop the wisdom? How do we develop the understanding? So the first thing the Buddha says is noble friendship or wise friendship or spiritual friendship, spiritual companions or colleagues. They should be noble, wise friendship, wise companionship, and this is the whole of the spiritual life. This we learned it from another sutta. So it is not half of the spiritual life, it is whole of the spiritual life. So our habits, our state of mind, our level of understanding, either it goes up or it goes down depending upon our surroundings. The type of people we are having, our friendship, our companions, and our colleagues. So if a person is having a noble friend, noble companion, and a noble colleague, who is matured, then this is going to lead to maturity of their mind. That unwholesome qualities will be removed gradually. And then The second thing Buddha says is, here it is talking about monks, but as a student or a lay follower, keeping the 5 precepts and practicing virtuous behavior by body, speech, and mind. And our behavior, being gentle in our speech, being kind in our behavior. And even there is slightest fault, seeing the danger in it. Actually, Buddha says here slightest fault because even though we try to neglect these little tiny things, at the end, if there's a clean white cloth, even a small dot of black or any other color is there, it will be visible even from afar. So the mind should be as clearer as possible. We should remove all the taints from it. This is the second quality that helps to bring an immature to maturity, to develop wisdom. The third one here, Buddha says, is a monk gets to hear easily the talks that break off defilements. So whatever attachments and what are the thoughts coming up, to how do we let go of them, how do we meditate, and how to develop this passion, how what is the path that is lead to detachment, what is the way that is leading to cessation. When we are repeatedly listening or visiting these kinds of talks, then as we keep practicing, they help us to develop wisdom. So every week, what we are doing here on Sunday and Wednesday, we are coming together, reading along with our practice. We are trying to develop our wisdom. The same way, this is what the Buddha actually asked us to do. And these talks should be on benefits of having few wants. What do we get if we are having few wants? And how should our mind be contented and satisfied? Seclusion, not only physical seclusion like on a retreat, but the mental seclusion of meditation. Not socializing, arousing energy, practicing precepts, collectedness of the mind, and the wisdom, liberation, and the knowledge and vision of liberation. These talks should, these are the talks or topics that we can, Buddha asked us to listen the talks on. Basically, it's the whole of the Dhamma together. This is the third quality that helps to bring our mind from the unwholesome state of mind to matured, this wise state of mind. And the monk keeps his energy aroused. And when I read this, it is talking about the right effort, abandoning the unwholesome states, and for developing the wholesome qualities. And also, along with the right effort, it is talking about the mindfulness. If we do not have mindfulness, if we do not have right, we cannot practice the right effort. For us to have mindful, for us to be able to do the right effort, we should know what is wholesome, what is unwholesome, what is right effort, and what is right view. All of this understanding should be there. And energy should be there, that mindfulness. If there is an unwholesome state coming up, letting it go, zigzagging it, releasing it, relaxing it, re-smiling, and returning to the object of meditation. And developing these wholesome qualities. This is the fourth quality that Buddha is asking us to. And this right effort, and As Pantavin Ramsey says, it includes four noble truths. It includes eightfold path. And the moment you are practicing the 6 hours, our mind is experiencing a microsecond liberation, experiences freedom. It is relaxed, it is in a calm state. And the fifth thing the Buddha is talking about, arising and passing of your formations. And the monk is wise. When he is wise, then he has developed the wisdom. He relates himself in his daily life through his meditation, the arising and passing away of formations, how the contact is happening, how the feeling is arising, how craving is arising. And his wisdom, when he is understanding arising and passing away, this wisdom is noble, penetrating, leading to the end of suffering. This is the fifth quality that helps to bring an immature mind to maturity. Meghiya, these are the 5 qualities that help to bring an matured mind to maturity. And rather than stopping here at the 5 qualities, Buddha went on and said how all of these 5 qualities are linked to the first quality of the noble friendship and wise friendship. So here, from all of this repetition, Buddha is starting the sentence, including with a monk having a noble friends, noble companions, and noble colleagues. So, the type of people we are surrounding with wise friendship, when we have wise friendship, then it can lead to second, and then the third, first to second, and first to third, first to fourth, first to fifth. The same way, if the friend is inclined to spirituality, inclined to meditation, we will have some kind of interest generated within us to meditate, to practice precepts, to go visit a vihara, to listen to the talks. And to arouse the energy, to abandon the unwholesome qualities, to practice the right effort. And while we are doing this, we develop and wisdom by knowing the arising and passing away of the formations. So these are the 5 qualities the Buddha is talking about to develop for the mind to become mature. And Buddha goes on and says about when we are established ourselves in these 5 qualities, we should develop additional 4 qualities. Of course, here it is talking about a monk who is ordained. So here it is talking about meditation to develop meditation on impurities of the body to abandon lust. It can be practiced under a teacher's guidance, but not for a beginner, for a lay follower, not for the beginner. One cannot go directly to the impurities of the body. And one should develop loving kindness meditation to abandon hatred. These are actually antidotes of meditation. For lust, it is peace of the body. And for hatred, it is loving kindness meditation. And then for the distracting thoughts, mindfulness of breathing. And when we are developing these things, along with the three characteristics of existence, the impermanence, suffering, the non-self, when we let go of the conceit, I am, that's when our mind is free from suffering. So when the monk is perceiving the impermanence, perception of non-self is well established within him, along with the three characteristics of existence. He could able to see arising and passing away. He's developed wisdom when he has uprooted all of the conceit. Then he attains Nibbana in this very life. And at the end, Gita talks a small verse. These two verses are actually, one is, even though some thoughts are small and subtle, when followed by, when followed, they stir up the mind. So even though our mind is distracted, if we are not mindful, that small thought carries away our mind and creates a big story. It's like mental proliferation. The ignorant person gets scared by these thoughts. Oh, this mind always, there are thoughts coming up. I'm stuck in these thoughts. The ignorant person gets scared of these thoughts. The result is that he will run here and there from life to life in this circle of regret. The wise person with true knowledge comprehends these thoughts arrogantly. He restrains them mindfully. The enlightened person uproots all the steering thoughts. So here, first Buddha talked about an ignorant person who is not mindful, doesn't know the path, and a wise person who knows the true knowledge and who knows, who has been on the path, has been practicing, and if what kind of thought has arose, what should be done. He knows the right effort, the 6 hours, and he is mindful, he restrains himself, he is guarding his senses. And again, the Buddha goes on and says about an enlightened person. The enlightened person is one who has uprooted all the stirring thoughts. So the mind is crystal clear on all of the occasion. Mind is uh, his mind is experiencing Nibbana all the time. And Sister Kema would say the mind is like a clean slate. Wonderful Sutta. Anybody has any reflection on this Sutta?
Yes, Sindhu, it is a beautiful sutta. To me, it really explains in detail the, as you said, the Four Noble Truths and the Three Universal Truths and the Noble Eightfold Path. And our Blessed One is beautifully explaining the Sila, Samadhi, and wisdom stage by stage. It is very beautiful. When you were reading it, I was remembering our practice, twin 6-hour practice, where we do keep the precepts, which is vitally important. And then with the practice of 6-hour, we are able to reduce the hindrances and move into jhanas and experience the insights of rising and passing away. And then, of course, disenchantment and dispassion naturally occurs when the causes are ready to experience cessation. It is a very beautiful sutta explaining stage by stage. Thank you very much for choosing and reading it.
Yes, Nanda madam, we are so grateful for the presence of the Buddha's teaching in our generation, for the suttas being available for at our system and being able to read them. These are rather few suttas, only 1 minute, 2 minute reading. We'll be reading and see insights and what we can add to our practice. Nanda madam, can you read?
Yes, Devata Samyutta, Samyutta Nikaya 1.13, Natthiputtasama Sutta, the discourse about nothing that equal children. What's truly the best? This is as I heard. At one time, the Blessed One was staying in the province of Savatthi in Jeta's Park at Anathapindika's monastery. Then late at night, a glorious deity lighting up the entire Jeta's Park went up to the Blessed One, bowed, stood on one side, and recited this verse. There is no love that can be compared to the love for a child. There is no wealth equal to the wealth of cattle. There is no light like that of the sun. Of waters, the ocean is incomparable. The Blessed One, there is no love like that for oneself. There is no wealth equal to grain. There is no light like that of wisdom, of waters rain incomparable. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
It's the end of the verse, and it's very wonderful how that giving the same comparison to the higher level of wisdom and understanding.
Yes, it does say we need to love ourselves first and then love everyone around us and to all beings. That's what we practice with Siksa, loving kindness Siksa practice. It does, loving kindness Siksa practice does help us to relax our body and calm our mind and experience jhanas and experience the samadhi stage where the insight develops, the rising and passing away of all phenomena and the impermanency. And to me, the 6R process help us to develop the wisdom to understand the Four Noble Truths and the three marks of existence and the Noble Eightfold Path.
This once again. There is no love like that for oneself. And the sixth precept that Bante has added to be loving and kind to oneself, ourselves, and to all beings. I think if we do not accept ourselves, the state of mind, then without forgiving it, it's very difficult to be able to feel this loving kindness or to radiate it. It's really wonderful that Bante has included that precept in the practice of forgiveness. Let's continue our reading. Rakka Samyukta Samyukta Nikaya 11.14 Dallidda Sutta Discourse about a poor man. The wise person, remembering the Buddha's teaching, should be devoted to faith, virtue, confidence, and realization of the Dhamma. This is how I heard. At one time, the blessed one was staying in the province of Rajagaha, in the bamboo garden, the squirrels reserve. They, the blessed one, addressed the monks, saying, "O monks, Bante," those monks replied to the blessed one. Monks, a long time ago, in the same province, there was a very poor and helpless beggar. He practiced faith, virtue, Dhamma learning, generosity, and wisdom, the path proclaimed by the Buddha. Having practiced faith, virtue, Dhamma learning, generosity, and wisdom in the path proclaimed by the Buddha, after death, at the breakup of the body, he was reborn among the Tavatimsa gods. He outshone the other gods in regard to beauty and glory. Then monks, the Tavatimsa gods, became annoyed with him, criticized and insulted him, saying, "It is wonderful indeed, sirs. It is amazing indeed, sirs. For before he became a god, he was poor, helpless beggar. After death, the breakup of the body, he was reborn among the Tavatimsa gods, and now he outshines the other gods in regard to beauty and glory." Then once, Sakka, lord of the gods, told the Tavatimsa gods, "Dear sirs, do not insult this god. In the past, this young god was a human being. He practiced faith, virtue, Dhamma learning, generosity, and wisdom in the path proclaimed by the Buddha. Having developed faith, virtue, Dhamma learning, generosity, and wisdom in the path proclaimed by the Buddha, after death he was reborn among Tavatimsa gods. He now outshines the other gods in regard to beauty and glory. Then monks, Sakka, lord of the gods, recited these words, making Tavatimsa gods happy. When one has unshakable, well established faith in the Supreme Buddha and good virtue raised by the noble ones, when one has confidence in the community of monks and one understands Dhamma, they say that one isn't poor, his life is not meaningless. Therefore, the wise person, remembering the Buddha's teachings, should be devoted to faith, virtue, confidence, and realization of the Dhamma. Great learning. I think the Sakka's words here asking us to keep faith in the practice, faith in the teachings, keep practice generosity, understand the Dhamma, and then definitely when we do our right effort and when we have confidence, when we are practicing our virtue, then realization of Dhamma will definitely happen.
Yes, regardless of our circumstances and situations, if we practice the true Dhamma, we only can go one way. It is very, very true. Yes. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam. And I think we can share the minutes here. That's good reading this week, and See next. In all sharing needs together. May suffering ones suffering free, and the fear stuck fearless. May the grieving shed all grief, and may all beings find relief. May all beings share this merit that we have thus acquired through the acquisition of all kinds of happiness. May beings inhabiting space and earth, devas and nagas of mighty power, share this merit of ours. May they long protect the Buddha's dispensation. Sa, sa, sa. Thank you everyone for joining. See you all.
Thank you, Nanda Madam, Paul sir. Thanking you all.